Hello, my name's Lori Nicholson, and I just finished recovering from presumptive COVID-19. I already created a separate video about what I feel helped me heal clinically from COVID-19, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing what I feel helped me heal holistically from COVID-19. I will reiterate that I'm not a medical provider in any way, that even though I will be sharing this video on my business YouTube channel and I will be sharing the accompanying slides on my business website, that this has nothing to do with my business, that this is shared as a good Samaritan. This is part of my world service to help let other people know things that helped me. So let me go ahead and let you know what helped me from a holistic perspective. So during the first week of my COVID-19, it was a fairly easy week. I didn't realize, we weren't sure that I had COVID-19, and in fact it felt easy enough for me that I just felt like I had a cold, maybe a mild flu, some sort of virus, but it didn't feel all that different from other viruses I've had during the first week. So during that first week, I took vitamin C. I'd been actually taking this before I got sick. Maybe that helped me not have such a bad experience. I don't know. There's no way to test that. But we think I got COVID-19 the day before social distancing measures started. There are only a couple of opportunities that I would have even had to get that, and we believe the person I got the COVID-19 from didn't know they had it, and had a very mild case. This is why social distancing is so very important. The first week, I had already been taking for maybe a week vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams a day, 1,000 milligram tablets 3 times per day. Again, I'm not a doctor. You can choose whether to do this or not, and you can talk to your doctor about it. I'm just telling you what I did. No legal or medical liability will be accepted. So vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams, 3 times a day. I was taking zinc lozenges 2 times a day. I was taking vitamin D, 5,000 IUs, 1 time per day. And I was taking oscillococcinum, which is a homeopathic flu remedy. They come in little vials, and I was taking one of those vials weekly. And I did that for the week before I got sick, I believe, and then the first week of my illness. Also during my first week of the illness, I started doing some videos with kungfu.life. This is listed on the PowerPoint slide. Qigong breath exercises to strengthen the lungs. And I actually loved this guy's exercise videos enough that I followed him on YouTube. They were really fun. But they also helped with my lung capacity. My lung capacity was already pretty good. I'm on a master's swimming team, and I was swimming 2,000 to 2,500 yards twice a week. On 3 other days per week, I was running a 5K just as exercise. In fact, the morning I first started feeling bad, I had just run a 5K, and then I had gone hiking with my family. So fortunately, my lungs were in pretty good shape. But because I was having, even that first week, fevers, dry cough, some chest congestion, it felt good to do these breath exercises and feel like I was really filling my lungs. The second week, if you've watched my clinical video, what helped me heal clinically, the second week I nosedived. I had that second week, downward turn, and it was very challenging, the first part of the second week, 3 or 4 days that were just awful. And so that second week, I was using vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams, only 1 time per day. Part of it is because I was doing so many things at that point, and my husband was bringing me all of my supplements, bless his heart, and he was trying to keep up with all of them. Neither one of us realized that I had gone from 3 times a day to 1 time per day until much later. And then I thought, wait a minute, why did I start taking less vitamin C at that time? It was an oversight because there were too many things I was keeping track of, and I was feeling very, very bad. I kept up the zinc lozenges twice a day, and I kept up the vitamin D 1 time per day. Also during that second week, what was really, really helpful for me is I started following the Jin Shin Institute, Jinshin, and they had different holds for keeping the lungs clear, holding different parts of your body, and I would really feel an increase in my ability to take a deep breath when I would do these holds. I found them very, very helpful. They had great videos for lung support and immunity support, and I highly recommend those. I also was using essential oils. I'm a little hesitant to talk about these because they changed over the days. And I also gave myself a bad chemical burn at one point. Even though I was using an oil that's supposed to be able to be used neat, and I was using it diluted with fractionated coconut oil, it still gave me a 2nd degree burn on my left shoulder and chest with blistering. So you will have to decide whether this is something that will work for you or not. Again, I'm not a medical provider. I don't sell essential oils. I'm just explaining my experience to you. I used oregano on my feet for 2 days, and then I was muscle testing to see, should I continue using it? Should I not continue using it? For those of you who have never muscle tested before, you could do it all sorts of different ways. I like to take my thumb and ring finger on one hand and hold them tight together. And then I take my thumb and pointer finger on the other hand and wrap it around that closed loop. And I ask a question, a yes/no question. Should I continue putting oregano oil on my feet? No. If it's weak, if it doesn't hold, if that circuit doesn't hold, basically, that's a no. If it does hold, should I keep drinking lots of water every day, even now that I'm healthy? Yes, that holds strong. So I pull and my muscles react based upon what the answer is. I could also muscle test how many drops of this particular essential oil do I want to put in the diffuser. Do I want to put 1 or 2 or 3? Test it that way. So I used in my diffuser eucalyptus, Breathe, On Guard. I also used some Thieves, anything therapeutic grade. Young Living and doTERRA are both good ones. There are other ones out there that have become more therapeutic grade as well. You'll have to check into those if you're interested. I also used Breathe with fractionated coconut oil on my chest and upper back. I used On Guard spray throughout my room. I later changed to peppermint, although even though I diluted it, that's what gave me a bad chemical burn. I've had a chemical burn before too from Breathe, even though it's diluted. I think I have very sensitive skin, and despite having used essential oils from 2004 onward, that, you have to be careful. And as my energy vibration and energy levels change, some things might not be appropriate for me anymore. So I started moving exclusively to diffuser. And in the diffuser, by that point, the second week, I was using eucalyptus, peppermint, and On Guard. And later during the second week, I started using homeopathy. I'm not going to tell you what I used, either the remedy or the potency, because that is something for which you need to be licensed, and I'd rather you go to your local homeopath. And I was fortunate to be able to work with a colleague of mine who is a licensed medical doctor and homeopath, and she guided me through different remedies that really, really helped me. Once I started using homeopathy, though, I had to be careful with what I was diffusing in the room, because you don't want to use anything minty, because it's like an antidote to the homeopathy. So I started only diffusing lemongrass in my diffuser. Another thing that was super, super, super important from a holistic perspective is positivity. Positivity, positivity, positivity. I had to get my brain right throughout this because it's incredibly challenging from a mental and emotional perspective to be so sick with such scary symptoms without any help from anybody else. That's really what it feels like. It's very challenging. And so I basically had to tell myself over and over again, like each breath I would celebrate. That was a really good breath, Lori. Great job. Keep doing it. Let's have another great deep breath. And whenever I would start feeling sad or defeated or even a little bit scared, I would do more deep breathing, and I'll share that in a few minutes, but I would also start telling myself all the things for which I was grateful and all the reasons I wanted to live, and the people in my life I wanted to live for, the things I wanted to do after I healed and got well. It was a life list of, here are the things that are going to keep me alive. Here are the things I want to experience with my kids, their graduations, their significant others, their marriages, their having grandkids, whatever it was. I just went through, and some of that was, I am so grateful I just had a really good deep breath. That's really awesome. Give myself a pat on the back. Now let's take another deep breath. It was really that touch and go for a while. And I am going to guide you through a couple of the deep breathing techniques that I used to help me keep calm and focused and centered and grounded. Because truly, the deep breathing and the albuterol inhaler, I believe to this day, kept me alive. So the two breaths that I used, one of them is called calm breathing. I learned calm breathing when I took hypnobirthing childbirth education classes, which I used for each of my 3 pregnancies and births. And I loved that childbirth method so much that I eventually became an educator, an instructor of hypnobirthing, and I eventually became a faculty member of hypnobirthing. I no longer teach hypnobirthing, and I don't get anything for saying this. It's a great method though. If you are pregnant yourself or you know somebody else who's pregnant, look up hypnobirthing.com and find a local educator. You will be happy you did, because they are life lessons taught in a breathing context, a pregnancy context. And breathing is one of those major things. Even when I was teaching, I was told all the time that people would use calm breathing when they were stuck in traffic jams and they felt frustrated or angry or anxious, or when they were in an annoying meeting at work. Well, I used calm breathing, and Marie Mongan is the founder of hypnobirthing. She has passed on, unfortunately. Yet prior to her passing on, and then even after she passed on, I checked with the Hypnobirthing Institute about whether I could share information with my clients about calm breathing, and they said yes. So thank you to the Hypnobirthing Institute. I get nothing from this except telling you that one of these breaths was from hypnobirthing, and it really, really helped me. Calm breathing is you're going to breathe in through your nose, and even though you're breathing out through your nose, it's as if you're imagining the exhalation going down through the back of your soft throat, chest, torso, and abdomen. It's a doubly long exhalation. And the reason we do that is because very few people ever completely inhale. So this forces you to take a long, slow, deep belly breath, which I'll describe in a minute. And then it's 4 counts in on the inhalation, 8 counts out on the exhalation, doubly long exhalation. And what that does is it forces you to completely exhale so that on the next inhalation, you reach for a deeper, longer, slower, fuller inhalation. So it naturally slows your respiration. It keeps you in the parasympathetic part of the nervous system where you're calm and relaxed. If you're starting to edge towards the sympathetic fight or flight or freeze response, it kind of pulls you back into the calm, relaxed response. So what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in through your nose to the count of 8, and you're going to fill your belly first, and then your torso, and then your chest. But because we are 3-dimensional beings, I like to think of breathing three-dimensionally, so I think of filling my abdomen, hips, and sacrum, which is the back of your abdomen, then your torso, mid, back, and sides, and then your chest and upper back, all the way up to the shoulder blades in the back, because that's how high up the lungs come. So you're going to breathe into the count of 4, really feeling your body expand from the bottom, then the middle, then the upper part. Then you're going to take an 8-count exhalation, imagining breathing the exhalation down the back of your soft throat, chest, torso, abdomen, and even all the way down your legs if you want to. The air is really escaping out of your nostrils and your slightly parted lips, but by imagining it going down through your body, it helps relax those muscle groups and keep you calm. So I will demonstrate a couple of those, and I'll show you with my hand when I'm breathing into the count of 4 and when I'm breathing out to the count of 8. I can't both count out loud and breathe deeply, so you'll just have to watch my hand, and you'll notice how it gets slower with a couple different respirations. So breathing into the count of 4. Out to the count of 8. And I feel calmer even just doing that. It's hard to demonstrate that and keep my shoulders sunk into the frame of my chest because I'm showing you with my arm, but you really want to make sure your shoulders are sunk into the frame of your body, your jaw is nice and relaxed, because if your jaw is relaxed, the rest of your body follows suit. I have a free relaxation audio on the home page of my website, wellawakenedliving.com. wellawakenedliving.com. And you can sign up for that if you want, and it has some calm breathing in the beginning of it, and it's a 15-minute relaxation audio, and it's free. So feel free to do that if you'd like. The next breathing that I would use is one called Breathing Out to the Universe. This was one that was guided to me years ago in my own healing process. And not healing from COVID-19, but years ago I had migraines and ulcerative colitis and a lot of kind of chronic conditions with my body that I helped heal with deep breathing and emotional processing techniques. And this was one of the ones that was really helpful to me at that time, and it helped me get through COVID-19. This particular breath is really, really good at helping move challenging, difficult emotions and energies. When I feel anger or grief or sadness that feels kind of stuck and hard to feel and hard to process and hard to move, I will use this technique. With COVID-19, whenever I would feel fear start creeping in, or even panic. When I woke up that one time, I woke up and not only did I feel pressure on my chest and difficulty breathing, but my neck felt so hot and swollen and sore that I couldn't move it at all. I had this, oh my goodness, like absolute panic feeling for about 2 breaths, and then I realized I'm starting to have trouble breathing. I'm going to do some breathing out to the universe. And I breathed out to the universe the fear and terror and panic. So the way this one works is it's a balanced breath, meaning that the inhalation and the exhalation are equal. Remember, calm breathing was a doubly long exhalation. Breathe into the count of 4, out to the count of 8. Breathing out to the universe is breathing into the count of 8, out to the count of 8, except a lot of other things are going on while you're doing this breath. Because I'm a musician, I think it was the way it was explained to me in meditation was In fact, what I was told in meditation years ago when I was healing my body was make your emotion bigger, 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 and stronger. And I was like, I don't want to do that. It feels terrible. I want it to go away. I want to get rid of it. And so I said, if you want me to do that, I need some additional directions. And these are the directions that I was given. Because I'm a musician, I think it was guided to me in a way to think about beats of music. So a natural phrase in music is 8 beats. And so this is an 8-count inhalation, an 8-count exhalation. On the first beat of the inhalation, I would fill my body with the emotion. In this case with COVID-19, I would fill my body with fear and terror. I would let myself feel it. Instead of denying it and trying to stuff it and push it down and then it wanted to get my attention more, I'd let myself feel it. So I'd fill my body with fear and terror. On the second beat of the inhalation, I'd fill the room I was in with fear and terror. On the third beat, I'd fill the whole house or structure that I was in with fear or terror. The fourth count, the fourth beat of the inhalation, fill the state. Fifth count, fill the country. Sixth, fill the earth. Seventh, fill the universe. By now, it's big, big, big and strong. It's really big and it's really expanded. And it felt like the vibration, it gets so far apart that it's vibrating very shallowly and rapidly. And it's like an overly inflated balloon that just wants to pop. So on the 8th beat, the 8th count of the inhalation, I visualize popping it. It's filling the whole world already. I visualize popping it. And then on the 8-count exhalation, I visualize that fear and terror, or whatever the challenging emotion is, being transformed and transmuted back into the universal substance of love and raining back down on me and filling me up with love. While I'm doing all of this, I think in my head, and sometimes I even say out loud before I start the breath, with this breath, I hereby release my fill in the blank with the feeling, the challenging feeling or emotion that I'm wanting to move or change. So I'd say, with this breath, I hereby release my fear and terror on behalf of myself and all of humanity. When that was first guided to me, I was like, why do I have to do this work on behalf of all of humanity? It's hard enough to do it for myself. But my guidance was, once I do it for myself, it automatically makes it easier for others to heal themselves and do their energetic work. Okay, so that's great. So this is what I would do. I started feeling fear and terror. And I'd say, on behalf, with this breath, I hereby release my fear and terror on behalf of myself and all of humanity. Fill my body, the room, the house, the state, the country, the earth, the universe, big, big, big and strong, and I pop it. Transform and transmute into the universal substance of love and rain back down on me. It's difficult to do that and breathe it at the same time to actually explain it. I have this resource listed on my website as well for free. It's typed up, it's written out. If you want, you can sign up for it. Feel free to use it. I want it to be out there for the world. Breathing out to the universe, calm breathing, and albuterol helped save my life. I'm convinced of it. The final thing that I would do holistically is I would use 2.4 hertz binaural beats. And I was told by an energy healer colleague of mine that the virus, I can't explain it, the virus doesn't like low vibration beats between the 2.4 hertz and 5 hertz range. I can't explain it, and maybe somebody who does sound healing can. When I was a music major, one of my majors in college, I thought about going into sound healing. I didn't do it. I do trust it and believe in it. And this radically changed my experience with this illness. Usually with binaural beats, you use headphones or earbuds in both ears, and it takes this vibrational sound and it smooths it out into one tone. That's usually the way you're supposed to use binaural beats. For this particular use, I did not use headphones. I wanted it to have that sort of whoom, 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 that humming beat sound. And so I went onto YouTube. I found 2.4 hertz binaural beats because that's what I was told would work for most people. I tried some other ones too. I tried 2.6, 2.8, 3.0, 3.3. The one that worked best for me is 2.4. You can play around with it, anything between 2.4 and 5.0. I think the 2.4 works really well. I didn't know how it was going to work, but I was like, at this point, I'm willing to try anything. There doesn't seem to be a downside to this. Bring it on. Let me try it. The first time I turned it on, my whole body started shaking like this. And I didn't know what was happening, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking, and I turned it off right away. And then my body stopped shaking. And then I turned it on again, and my whole body started shh. My legs would flop up off the bed, my arms would shake, my hands would shake, I would have all this churning in my stomach, and then it would feel like a release. But I turned it off again, and I did some meditating. What is happening to my body? I would say if you have epilepsy, it's probably not a good thing to do this. Again, I'm not a medical provider. This is shared as a Good Samaritan only. But maybe if you have a pacemaker or something where you're relying on regular beats, maybe this wouldn't be great for you. Talk to your doctor about it. Try it out. If there's no downside for you, it felt like there was no downside for me. And my whole body would start vibrating with the beats. I found this to be so incredibly helpful, and I would feel so much better after doing this that I kept my phone plugged in and the beats going around the clock for probably 4 days. Sometimes I usually try to keep my cell phone away from me because I don't think it's all that great to have it really close to your body and carrying in your pockets or right up next to your ear all the time. But even so, with this virus, I would put it right up near my chest. I would put it behind my back. I would put my cell phone against my belly that was churning nonstop like a rock tumbler. And I would let the vibrations of my phone and the vibration from the clip that was playing on YouTube kind of go into my body, and I would really feel this. Whew, it really did feel like the virus was leaving my body. I'd love some sound healing feedback on why that particular hertz range worked so well. I don't really know, but it did. It worked great for me. And I would even sometimes, in addition to keeping it going around the clock, in addition to sometimes having my phone right up next to my body, where I was feeling extreme pain or discomfort or pressure, I would sometimes also palpate that part of my body, like this part from my sternum up to my shoulder and across underneath my arm was really, really, really sore for 3 or 4 days. It's still actually a little bit sore, even though I'm healed up. It's like 95% better, but still getting better little by little. I would actually palpate right on the bone or the muscle that was feeling very sore, along with the rhythm, like woo, 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 woo. Whatever the beat was, I would palpate that part of my body along with the sound, and it worked great. So those are the things that helped me. Again, I'll post the video on YouTube. I will post the PowerPoint slides on my website. I'm not going to go through the effort of production and editing. I want to get this information out there so it can help as many people as it can. Remember social distancing. It's really important. And stay safe and healthy. Stay well.